Okay, so today I'm going to be sharing my honest thoughts and opinions on the Inheritance Game series. So, the last book review that I shared on this channel was for this book here, which is called The Final Gambit. And I said that in that video, once I was done with this book, The Brothers Hawthorne, I said that I was going to make a book review and I was also going to make a video sharing my thoughts and opinions on the whole series. Last night, I decided that I wanted to Google this Inheritance Game series because I know that there is another series that is apparently supposed to be a spin-off from this Inheritance Game series. So I was trying to do a little bit of research on that, and I found out that these three books are the entire Inheritance Game series. This is the final book in the series, and this book here is a standalone. So I thought that this was the finale to this series, and apparently this book is just a standalone. So I am actually going to DNF this book. And for anyone who doesn't know what DNFing a book means, it means do not finish or I did not finish. And that's what I'm going to do. I'm actually on page 101 here, as you can tell. And I'm not, this book is not what I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to go more into depth about, you know, the Hawthorne brothers when they were growing up, like how they became who they are, etc. However, that is not what this book is so far. There is the girl that's in the girl that the series is about is actually very prominent in this book, which I did not think she was going to be. And I just, yeah, this is as far into the book as I'm in. And I have decided that I'm just going to not finish this book. I'm not going to be adding this book to my book journal. So we're just going to go ahead and talk about the Inheritance Game series and what I think of it. So, this Inheritance Game series is a book series that is very popular on Instagram. A lot of people have said that this is a very great book series to read. And so, the first one is this one here. I started this one 2025, finished this one last year, started this one 2025, finished it, and then I started this one this year and finished it this year. And so I have no clue what I thought this book series was going to be about, but it was definitely not what I thought it would be. I have a rule of whenever I'm starting a book series, I get the first book first, and then halfway through the first book, if I'm really liking it, then we'll get the second book, especially if the first book for some reason ends on a cliffhanger, which all readers understand this. When a book ends on a cliffhanger, you better have the second book or the next book, whatever book the cliffhanger is on. Anyway, so this book right here basically just talks about the girl Avery who, her mom has a secret about the day she was born. And the secret is that she is the heir to this Hawthorne estate. And the brothers in this book, which is what this book I thought was going to be about, the brothers don't understand why their grandfather left her, this girl who they don't even know, all of this inheritance. The second book basically starts asking and answering more questions, and so does this book. Now, this book here, I will say though, this book here, it kind of introduces more characters, things like that, who's related to who type thing. I will say though, I personally did not love this Hawthorne or this Inheritance Game series. I did like the beginning to this first book because it started off with someone talking about like their past, and that's, I don't know, that's just kind of how it started. I'm trying to think the best way to describe that without it being confusing. But just this book series, in my opinion, I just did not get the hype around. Like, there were a lot of people that rant and rave about how much they love this on Instagram. And I'm a very firm believer that just because a book is, very highly received on Instagram doesn't mean that every person that reads it is going to feel the same way. And that's me with this book series. I did enjoy all of these books. to some degree. I thought the mystery element was great. I thought the twists and turns were great. However, these books did have some elements in them that I did not think needed to be in the book, especially in these two books, because I do remember reading them thinking, what does this add to this story that is necessary to this plot? And so personally, like, they say that this book series is good for like 12 to 13 and years old. Personally, I would say this book series, especially these two, I would say maybe a little bit older, because there are some, I'll say it this way, implied themes that I don't think are necessarily appropriate for younger people. And I also base it off of me personally. But yeah, so like I said, I do not fully like this whole series to me is one of those series where you have to like fully be paying attention to what you are reading. Otherwise, you're going to get yourself really confused. And I liked the mystery element, but this series was not for me. I am happy that I read it so I could see why people liked it so much, but like I said, it's just not for me, and I'm going to be 100% honest. I thought this book, like I said at the beginning of this video, I thought that this book was going to talk only about the brothers, how they became who they are, and like the other stories. Nope. I mean, now obviously, like, that could happen more as the book continues. But when I figured out, or should I say learned, that this was a standalone book and that this was the ending book, I was like, you know what? I'm done. I am DNFing this book. It's going on my bookshelf. I am not going to finish it. I actually have a couple of other book series that I kind of want to start. So I also have a couple of books in my to be read list or to be read pile that are like extremely popular right now, that are like, that a lot of people say have like very good reviews on. I may start one of those. But yeah. Anyway, so my whole thoughts and opinions on this series is that if you like a good mystery, I would definitely recommend it. But just keep in mind that there are going to be themes in here that are applied that you may not like. If you're a person that doesn't like implied gambling, drinking, you know, like people sleeping with characters, etc. Trying to figure out the right way to say that. Then I would say you might want to be mindful of this. There is also mild language. It's not terrible language, but in this first book here, Avery's friend Max, she does say a lot of words that she purposely says them differently, like swear words. She phrases them differently so that they don't sound like the actual word, but they kind of have that implied with the word, if that makes sense. She like rephrases it. So again, if you're a person that really likes mystery, I would say yes, but just keep in mind that there are some things implied in these books that you may not want to read about. You know, would I recommend the book series? I would say yes, but for those reasons, and I would say no for the reasons I also said. So I am glad, like I said a little bit ago, that I did read the series, but I'm officially going to DNF the fourth book the book that I thought was the fourth book. So there will be no book review on that. So for anyone who was watching that video and was looking forward to a book review, I apologize. I'm not going to be doing that. But yeah, so I hope that this video was enjoyable. And if this is a book series that you or someone you know has been, you know, eyeing to read or something like that, then I hope that this video gave you a little bit of insight on whether or not the book is good for you or a good fit for you. So yeah, that is it for this video, I guess.